During the campaign period, El-Rufai was one of the APC members, one of the top politicians that spoke all the time against, pardon me, not against, that spoke all the time in support of Tinubu. He stood by Tinubu. I remember when he was the one that disclosed that there are some cabal. In fact, there is this particular person who ran who ran for to be nominated as the president, the presidential candidate of the party in the primary, but didn't make it, but is now using policies to tackle Tinubu, is now filling Buhari's ear with bad news in order for Tinubu not to win the election. It was the one that disclosed all of that. And I remember vividly when he disclosed that he wanted to go outside the country, to study for his PhD. And Tinubu allegedly begged him not to go, and a lot of people, a lot of us thought that sure banker, the ministerial position is 100% sure that ministry minister he is. But now we are beginning to doubt, because not only was his name removed, not only was he pegged or rejected due to lack of security clearance, it is now glaring that Tinubu is trying to snub El-Rufai. Tinubu is not even giving him the excuse. We all know that if Tinubu actually wanted this man to be cleared, of all security crimes or of anything, it would definitely would. But, in the case of, what's this called? Festus Keyamo, the Senate didn't want to clear him, but Tinubu made sure that he made that happen in an instant, and he would have done the same thing in this case. But there are some politics at play here. I don't want to go into all of that now, but we'll do so in the rest of the video. In order to stay tuned and enjoy this video, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do well to subscribe. The subscribe button is free of charge, of course. Subscribe, turn on the post notification bell so that you can be the first person to get notified whenever we upload a new video. Help us grow this channel by giving this video a massive thumbs up so that it gets recommended to other YouTube viewers all around the world as well. Lastly, leave your opinions in the comment section below. Without further ado, let's delve right into the details of today's news. How Tinubu ridiculed El-Rufai, camp revealed as ex-governor jets out to Egypt. Former Governor Nasir El-Rufai is distraught that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu betrayed him by supporting his detractors to ridicule him over the ministerial nomination. El-Rufai reportedly dropped his ministerial ambition after meeting with Tinubu following the rejection of his confirmation by the Senate, and he is sad that the president, who begged him to be part of his government, gave approval to the plot by his political enemies to block his nomination. The former governor and one-time minister of the Federal Capital Territory (FCT) was one of the 48 persons nominated by President Tinubu as ministers in July. El-Rufai's name had emerged in the first batch of 28 nominees forwarded to the National Assembly for approval on July 27. Many said his track record, both in the private and public sectors, had made him unlike many politicians in Nigeria, and it was believed to be a major asset to the Tinubu government. Sources said this was why President Tinubu included his name as the one to drive what was to become a new Ministry of Power and Energy. Despite guzzling millions of naira in many decades, the electricity sector in Nigeria remains comatose, with many saying only the likes of El-Rufai could demystify it. During a screening exercise, the former governor had spoken clearly when it said President Tinubu was committed to ensuring that Nigeria had a stable and reliable electricity supply and stressed, "I would do my best." Political pundits say that for anyone who knows Malam Nasir El-Rufai, his best is always enough. However, Sunday Karimi, representing Kogi West Senatorial District, had during the screening presented a petition against him, saying it concerned security, unity and national cohesion. The Senate President Godswill Akpabio had, however, suggested that petitions should not be addressed during the screening exercise. But in what many saw as a major setback, the Senate on Monday withheld the confirmation of Nasir El-Rufai along Stella Okotete from Delta State and Senator Abubakar Sani from Taraba State, citing security clearance. The news created mixed feelings, with sources telling Premium Times that the embarrassment was why Nasir El-Rufai had informed the president that he was withdrawing his ministerial interests. The president then asked for 24 hours grace to review the petitions and the SSS report to the Senate to enable him to reach a decision. Reports confirm that the former governor left the country for Egypt after making his position clear to President Tinubu. Despite his withdrawal, he had met with stakeholders from the power and energy sector, where he urged them to support whoever would be the next Minister of Power and Energy. Even after he made the decision to withdraw, he held meetings with local meter manufacturers and other stakeholders in the power and energy sector, where he urged them to work with whoever would come in as minister, a source close to the former governor said. However, fresh facts emerged yesterday on why El-Rufai, known for his track record of getting the job done, would be shut down by a mere petition. Sources said that the power play and gang up against El-Rufai came from various angles, including the presidency, the petition, and alleged security concerns. Daily Trust Saturday gathered were a mere ruse cooked up by some powerful persons to frustrate the former governor's chances. Some very powerful Nigerians, it appears, are not comfortable with the kind of reforms El-Rufai was bringing to the power and energy sector. A source who asked to remain anonymous, said, "Every reform attracts some form of resistance, and so what El-Rufai did as Minister of the Federal Capital Territory (FCT) was possible because he had the tenacity to do it, but also because he had the support of his principal, former President Olusegun Obasanjo. People still tried to stand in the way of the reforms, but because there was political will, it was done," he said. Other sources told reporters that El-Rufai's decision to withdraw his ministerial appointment was as a result of the president's body language, which the former minister was disappointed with. Newsroom Nigeria gathered that the former governor of Kaduna State, who returned to the country from London on Monday, had met with Tinubu on Tuesday. He was said to have led some members of a team he had assembled to the villa on Wednesday, where they made a presentation. However, a source close to the former governor told these news media that El-Rufai had made his decision to withdraw his ministerial appointment even before the meeting with the president. What happened on Monday couldn't have happened except there was some nod and wink from the place where the nomination came from, said a source referring to the body language of President Bola Tinubu. It said for someone who never asked for an appointment, El-Rufai was unfairly treated. He never begged for it. In fact, he was begged to come and work for them, and when he finally agreed, they subjected him to what happened on Monday. Some very powerful people are not comfortable with him, and the president is now part of it. Why will the State Security Service, SSS, clear people with corruption cases, some nationally and even internationally, and then fail to clear El-Rufai? It is political, and it is unfortunate that the president would allow himself to be part of this, another source said. According to Newsroom Nigeria, El-Rufai was actually working on his doctoral field work at the time of his nomination. Those close to him said he would carry on with his studies. If you nominate someone and you later change your mind, you decide that the kind of things he is likely to do, you may not be able to support him, then you should invite him and say, look, I think you should find a different way of working together. Maybe you should not take a full-time role, a source said. Attempts to talk to the presidency to comment on the allegations that Tinubu did not protect El-Rufai against unfounded allegations as it did for others did not yield results. A special advisor on media, Ajuri Igelale, did not respond to a phone call and was yet to reply to the text sent to him as at press time. You all let me have your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think about all of these allegations? The allegations is a lot and it's flying around. Subscribe guys if you haven't. Share this video with your friends and family. I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.